Hi, I'm Jean Schumacher, founder of the Plant-Based Academy, where I provide help, support, guidance, and resources to switch to a plant-based lifestyle and get your health back. Today, I have the privilege of connecting with Shayda Soleymani, who is the co-author of the international cookbook, Live Your Healthiest Life, One Bite at a Time, One Meal at a Time. Alongside with Dr. Gustavo Tolosa, the book features authentic oil-free Persian and Argentinian recipes. You can find Shayda and her culinary creations on her YouTube channel, Healthy Cooking with Shayda, and through her website, healthycookingwithshayda.com. Her mission is to inspire and empower others to thrive on a plant-based diet, one delicious bite at a time. Shayda, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me here tonight.
My pleasure, and I'm excited to be here and talk to your group. You and I have been talking about this for quite some time, and I'm so glad that it finally came to fruition and we're actually getting to do this. So I'm excited.
Right? Well, what are you making for us tonight?
So tonight I'm going to be making two dishes for you guys, and I wish you were here because this is plenty of food for one person. I wish you were here that I could share this with you. We're making an avocado corn salad, and we're also making a mango black bean salad. So both of these dishes are great to take on potlucks, to barbecues, anywhere you want to go. The salad, well, it's a salad. To me, it's a main dish. The avocado corn is more of a side dish because of the avocado and the calorie density that's in the avocado. That's not a meal you want to just sit there and eat, the whole bowl.
Wait, I would. I'm sorry. That sounds amazing already.
Yeah, but you kind of want to take it easy because it is high calorie dense. So just a cautionary warning about that dish. But let's get started with the mango black bean bowl. So I've gone ahead and cooked the quinoa, and I make this in the Instant Pot. Having an Instant Pot really makes life so much easier. This is a cup of quinoa to 1.5 cups of water in the Instant Pot, set for 2 minutes, and you let the pressure come down naturally. If you don't have an Instant Pot, which I highly recommend you get, it's going to change your whole world, you can easily make this on the stovetop. The idea with both of these recipes is I didn't want to make anything complicated because I want the average person who doesn't cook to be able to come in here and to make both of these dishes. So, I try to make things as less complicated. Now, in the book, there are recipes that are pretty basic, like this one. And then I do get into some that are more, I guess you might say is complicated, which I don't think they're complicated. It's just different, and it's got a lot more ingredients, and you kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. Sometimes I always recommend that you read the recipe 2 or 3 times before attempting to make it, even if it's easy as the ones I'm going to be making tonight. Why do I say that? I have missed steps many a times. I have forgotten ingredients many a times, and I thought I had everything down. And it's just really good to read it a couple of times so that it's embedded into your brain. Besides the quinoa, we are putting 1 medium bell pepper that's been chopped up. You just want to chop that up. And I like to chop things uniformly. Because I think we eat with our eyes. So if the salad looks pretty, more people are apt to eat it. But if it looks sloppy, I don't think anybody wants to eat it. So try to cut your things uniformly. Next, we are going to add a can of black beans. And this dish is very colorful. Next, we've got roasted corn. And this was frozen that I just thawed. So nothing fancy schmancy about it. Mango. Now, some of you may say, what if it's not mango season, which it really isn't mango season here right now. If you can't find mango, don't worry about it. This dish will be delicious with pineapple, with grapes, with apples. Use any fruit you like. The more citrusy the fruit, the better it is. Spices, we've got cumin. My secret ingredient, which I just love, is powdered jalapeno peppers. So it's ground jalapeno peppers. Why? Because I want to give this a little bit of a zest, a little bit of a kick. Now just take a look at this and look how beautiful these colors are. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
That even if a person doesn't eat plant-based like we do, this is inviting to them. Now, you're going to ask me, what's the dressing? Well, the dressing is just fresh limes. And what makes this really good is using the zest. Whenever you can, you guys use the zest, because the zest is where you get a lot of flavor. And if you could just smell it right now, just from the zest, it's unbelievable. And we are also going to add some cilantro to this. Now, some of you may not like cilantro. It may give you that soapy taste, and I'm really sorry, but you can use any other herb that you like. You can use parsley. You can use dill, whatever it is that you're going to like. I just happen to favor limes a little bit more, and I really don't know why, but I just do. And I think there's something about black beans and mango and cilantro that just really goes well together.
It does. And I
Right?
feel so bad for the people that don't like cilantro or have that soap taste or metallic taste.
I agree. How hard is this recipe?
No, I'm crazy easy. But also the cilantro helps to detox any kind of metals that you have in the body. It literally attaches to the metals and escorts it out of the body.
I always thought I could out-exercise my diet. And then I was in for a rude awakening. The jalapeno pepper gets to me after a while.
Right?
Yep. And the cilantro just makes it pretty with the green in here.
It does. Oh, look at all those colors. Now talk about eating from the rainbow.
Right? But there we go.
Oh, and crazy easy.
Crazy easy. Like literally anybody can make this. There's nothing complicated about opening up a can of beans.
How did you come up with these recipes?
I think it was during the pandemic. So it's whatever I had on hand that I kind of threw together, because we needed to eat and we couldn't go to the store, but I always had frozen corn. And what's funny is during the pandemic, nobody was buying fresh fruits and vegetables. Everybody was going for all the processed crap. And I'm laughing. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I remember being at Trader Joe's and at Costco, my cart had all fresh stuff, and everybody else's was packed to the rim with all the processed crap. And I'm like, okay, but that's how this one came about, because it's just we needed to eat. And I've always been a fan of mango, black beans, and cumin and cilantro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can make a burrito out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
You can make a taco out of this.
Right.
Like, there's so many things you could do.
Well, and just putting that over some greens,
Absolutely.
because we want to include those greens. Greens are just one of those types of foods that you can't overdo. Like, for example, you eat a cup of blueberries. Well, that's great, and we should have that. Blueberries, incredible antioxidants. But if you ate 2 cups of blueberries, you're not going to get more health benefits, as opposed to the greens, which you you keep eating more greens, it's going to be better for you without question.
Yep. I don't have too much avocado, only because I'm trying to keep my weight down.
Right?
I will have it every now and then. And in fact, for this recipe, I'm going to take it to my neighbor's house. Yeah, but you know what? You're probably like me, where you have it once in a while. It's not like something you have every night.
No.
That's like me. It's once in a while, and it's okay.
Well, I have what's called a Tanita scale, and the Tanita scale measures 11 different functions of my body, including BMI and the amount of body fat that you have, which is amazing. I get an avocado, and I'll eat like half an avocado in one day, and I'll cover it with some plastic wrap and put it back in the refrigerator, and then have it the other half the next day. And so I will notice within a day or so, my body fat goes up significantly.
Really?
Yes, it's that quick. It's that quick. It's unbelievable to see.
That I have no idea.
Unbelievable. When you start to see it, it's a delay. It's like maybe a day or so delay from the time you finish consuming that avocado to what you see the increase going up in fat. Now, my diet is pretty low caloric density overall. So
Right.
when you introduce something like that kind of fat, it's like, what? Really? It goes up like 1 or 2 body percent of fat. It's crazy.
And
So
how's your cholesterol and your LDL?
excellent. Excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it's not going to impact that, but it will impact the amount of fat you have and very quickly too. Okay.
Yes.
So just
I never realized it was that quickly until what you just said.
yeah. And the other thing that I found was it measures my bone density. And even though I'd been plant-based for quite a few years before this, my bone density was starting to go down. And I started adding smoothies to my diet every day because there's so much calcium
Benefit.
in the
Right.
greens, the leafy greens, and I'm packing it in my smoothie. Oh my gosh. Talk about hyperalimentation. Woo, doggies. And my bone density started going up and it has reached a plateau and it's where it should be in the healthy range. And it hasn't moved since I started doing the smoothie. Boom. So
So I chopped up the avocado and put them in here. Next, you're going to add corn in here. Again, this is going to be a very colorful salad. We're going to add chopped up red onion. We're going to add chopped up tomatoes. And these are the cherry tomatoes. We're going to mix all this together. And again, here we have another dish that's super, super colorful. Oh, my avocado is jumping out. To this, we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. And you could actually add the black pepper to your quinoa salad too, if you wanted to. And this dish is best when it's chilled for a few hours. So go ahead and make it, in the morning if you're going to serve it that afternoon. Now, what's the dressing, people? The dressing is going to be fresh limes again. And we're going to make sure that we get the zest in there because that's where all the flavor is. So that's what we're going to do. And you need a good microplane to zest. Jean, do you use the zest on your lemons and limes?
absolutely. That's too fine. What you have in your hand, I use a little bit bigger grate, just like
Oh,
the
you
big
do?
grater, and it does it much better. And especially for things like lemons, I use an even bigger grate, it just gives a nice strip of lemons, which just adds a huge impact.
Okay. Is there one that you recommend?
Actually, do have a Amazon storefront which people can access, and I put all of the things because people ask me all the time, what do you use? What pans do you use? So I just put it all together.
And what you want to do is with both of these dishes, taste it. If you feel like it needs more lemon or limes, add it. There's no set rule just because I say 3 to 4 limes that you have to use 3 or 4 limes. Some people may want more, some people may want less. So just go with your taste buds.
Well, I just want to throw in there the benefits of using like the zest because first of all, it's going to promote heart health. They're rich in vitamin C. Oh my gosh. And it's filled with fiber and it's loaded with antioxidants. It's going to help boost immunity. It improves digestion. It could help possibly treat gallstones if you have that. It can help
Really?
support oral health, because it's got the lemon, especially, it's got antibacterial properties, which can help prevent the growth of bacteria, within your mouth for cavities. And it can help treat bacterial and fungal infections. It boosts skin health, and it is a natural cleaning solution because of the antibacterial and antimicrobial properties.
A
So,
lot of benefits.
oh my gosh. So, and people typically just throw it out, and
With the shame.
I know. And it adds so much flavor. Oh gosh.
And that's why you don't like when I take these to, I always take one of these to like people that don't eat like us.
Uh-huh.
And nobody complains where's the salt. Nobody complains where's the oil. Where nobody misses it. There's certainly salt and stuff on the table if they should want it, but nobody really misses it because of the lemon and the lime that's in there.
Right? Well, I would take dishes and make them and bring them to my family because I'm the only person in my family who's gone plant-based. And so every time I would bring a dish, and I would always bring several to the family events because like my family, it's a competition to see who can bring the highest calorically dense, worst possible food on this
Oh
planet
my
for
goodness.
you. Okay.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
and then that's what we do from the time we get together till the time we leave, we're eating, we're grazing and snacking and whatever. But anytime I would bring something, people would be like, so what is that? Well, how did you make that? What's in it? You know, it's like it's food. It's food. Get
But
over it.
they're eating it.
Nobody else is getting this grand inquisition except me, you know.
But take it as a compliment. I think it's good. Because the conversations are starting to happen.
Well, not in my family. So,
All right. So here's the avocado corn salad.
oh my God, that just looks heavenly.
Something simple, healthy, delicious that you could really make in less than an hour together. And that's like washing, chopping, and putting it all together. Take it to your next holiday get together. Super easy meal, definitely.
Okay, so we got some questions for you. So, you wrote this cookbook, Live Your Healthiest Life, one bite at a time, one meal at a time. Why? What made you write this cookbook?
It's always been in the back of my mind to write a book, and people were always asking me oil-free Persian recipes, and could I write a book just on Persian recipes? And then I started talking to Gustavo because Gustavo and I do a lot of webinars together. We've done some work together, and he was saying the same thing. People are asking him, and I thought, well, wait a minute, we might have something here. I said, Gustavo, how about if you and I write a book? I never gave up my Persian heritage, but in fact, I took the foods and I converted them to being plant-based and salt, oil, sugar-free. And you've done the same thing. I've lost close to 115 pounds. You've lost well over 80 pounds. And we all did it. We both did it following a plant-based diet without giving up our culture, without giving up our seasonings, our taste. And I thought that might be something that the readers might be interested in. The other reason was you always hear about women losing weight. But how often do you hear about men losing weight? Men have just as a hard time as we do. They have their own struggles. So why not bring both of those views together? And that's how the book came about. And I cannot even tell you the response that we got with this book, because it's not just a cookbook. Live Your Healthiest Life, which you can find on Amazon. The book talks about my journey coming to the United States. It talks about Gustavo's journey coming from Argentina and how I took family recipes and I converted them, and how he took family recipes and converted them. So half of the book is really our story, our life. And then we get into recipes. To get Dr. McDougall's endorsement, to get Dr. Clapper's endorsement, Dr. Goldhammer, Dr. Doug Weil, AJ wrote the foreword to the book, Tammy Kramer from Nutmeg Notebook. The list goes on. Just incredible. Like I was almost in tears. Dr. Neil Barnard. But I tell you, it was just amazing. Just amazing to have these doctors that I look up to, all of them endorsing the book. And if you go to Amazon and if you look at the comments that what people have written about our book, it's just amazing how it's been, it's still at the top of the ratings, and people are just giving it the 5-star endorsement that I am beyond grateful for this book.
Well,
Yeah.
I know it's a good one. I got my copy at the NHA, the National Health Association conference. You and I were there last June.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of range of recipes are people going to find in your cookbook?
They're going to find everything from super easy to somewhat a little bit more difficult. There's going to be American recipes, there's going to be Italian recipes, there's going to be French, there's going to be Persian, there's going to be Argentinian. So you have a different flavor profile, which is really kind of cool. Most of the recipes, about 100 and some odd recipes, are mine. Another 30, 35 are Gustavo's. We actually had to cut back on recipes because we had so much. So we had way too many recipes. But we took the best ones that we liked, and the ones that, so like the Persian section in mine is pretty good. You've got probably over 20, close to 20 recipes in the Persian section. And with him, with the Argentinian section, he's got quite a bit. So it's just a unique book. It is not your normal everyday cookbook.
Well, you had some recipes that were made at the NHA conference last June. And I'm just going to say, and Colleen noted the same thing. The potato salad that you have is out of this world.
Well, that's when Wanda asked me what should we make for the NHA, I thought the Persian potato salad, because I don't think anybody's had the way we make it.
It was delicious.
And that's a recipe that my mom and I worked on together.
Aww.
So yeah. In fact, when AJ spent the weekend here a couple of weeks ago, I made sure to make that for her because she really liked it. But I took the peas out because she can't have any beans or anything. So,
what are your favorites?
oh my goodness, Jean, there's quite a few. Quite a few. I love the potato salad. I love this quinoa black bean mango salad. A few of the Persian recipes that are in here. The shola zard is really good. The sada shirazi is really good. There's quite a few. Quite a few. There's not, I don't think there's any recipes in there that I would say, oh God, I'm not making that. Like my grandmother's recipes for Passover, they're in here. So I was able to convert those, which was really kind of cool.
Well, what is the main message to take away from your cookbook?
I want everybody to know that you can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've been eating. Anything and everything is possible. You just have to get some recipes under your belt. And if it means repeating the same recipes, so be it. But just start, that anybody can do this. Look, I'm not from the United States, but I managed to do it. He's from Argentina, and he managed to do it. And between the two of us, we've lost over almost close to 200 pounds together. So it can be done. Is it going to take a little while? Yes. Is it always a work in progress? Yes. But so what? Your health is your greatest wealth. You need to do this for yourself. There's really no excuse. Get what you like and just start. Even if it means, when I first started, Jean, I was literally eating just beans and broccoli and potatoes. Now, some people might say just eating potatoes and broccoli is boring. I don't think it's boring. Maybe it is boring. But guess what? My palate changed and food started tasting really good to me. And guess what? The better part, my numbers started improving. My weight started coming up. So there you go. Boring sometimes is the winner. And if that means being boring, so be it. Be boring. Right? But just do it. Anybody can do this. You have no excuse.
Well, I often think too, back in the day, it used to be Meatloaf Monday, Taco Tuesday. You had like 10 recipes in your repertoire that you did because you really liked them and it became a staple of your diet. And that's one of the things that I focused on in the Plant-Based Academy is to find those 10 recipes that you could eat again and again. Like, for example, Mexican lasagna. I think we're on like week 942. I mean, because my husband loves it. I say to him when I'm batch cooking on the weekends, what would you like for lunch? Oh, Mexican lasagna. I'm like, I can make other things. No, I just like it. It's good. Next question. And I'm like, okay. So, but I like a variety. I do. I like to make different things. So
see, and I'm okay with, I'm a creature of habit. And I'm okay. Like, I don't need that much variety. Because sometimes I think variety can be the kiss of death, depending on your personality. So for me, I'm okay with it. And one of the best tools that I bought was the Instant Pot. Because I could make potatoes in there. I can make corn in there. I can make soups. And I've got these super cubes that I take the soup when I make it and I freeze it. So I always have, stock fridge of soup in there. Frozen vegetables have become my best friend for quite some time because I'll sometimes come home and take frozen vegetables and I'll make a quick stir fry with either some brown rice or a can of beans and just toss it together. So this doesn't have to be complicated. I think people think it is complicated, but it really isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are complicated recipes, no question about it.
So stay away from them.
Yeah, no, and I get it, and I will make an effort for things like Thanksgiving or for the holidays. I'll put a bit more effort into the food, but I batch cook on the weekends, and I make a bunch of stuff, 3 or 4 recipes, and then I put some in the freezer, and so then I'll have a few in the fridge, and then I'll pull out as I need. And then do I need to batch cook again? Sure, then I'll batch cook and make 3 or 4 recipes. So.
Yeah.
But frozen veggies, I just love them to death because it's like money in the bank, right?
Yep.
And at one point though, I know that my freezer, like some of the food is starting to like really, it's been in there for a while. So I'll pull it out and I'll make, clean out the freezer soup. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that is absolutely awesome. And it comes out great every time. And it's amazing because you're using different things, from what I'm pulling out of the freezer. But you're right, frozen foods are amazing because they're picked at the height of ripeness,
Right.
and it's incredible. It is.
I made a YouTube video showing 2 recipes. I just walked in and I grabbed whatever was in the freezer and I made 2 recipes just to show how easy and how quickly it can be done. And I didn't defrost anything.
Right.
I mean, it takes a little bit longer because you didn't defrost it, but eventually it gets there and it's just super easy to do.
Right.
So as long as your refrigerator and your freezer is stocked with the healthy foods, I think you're going to be fine.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, using the Instant Pot, it's a game changer. Absolute game changer. I have an 8-quart and a 6-quart at the same time in my kitchen at all times because I'll be using it on the weekends, especially to make yogurt. Yogurt, oh my God, crazy easy to make soy yogurt. And I can do so much with it. Talk about the cheeses you were talking about. Oh, so good. Anyway, I almost always have some kind of grain. I love kamut grain or farro or some rices, things like that. I'll have that. I'll have potatoes. I love Yukon Gold potatoes. Love those. I'll have sweet potatoes in my fridge. And then I'll cook a big pot of beans, and have that as well. So with those ingredients, I can pull those out and put together a meal in less than 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing that people need to learn is just how to keep it simple. Simplicity is going to win every single time. Every single time. But you have to have your refrigerator and your freezer and your cabinet stocked with good food.
Right.
That's important.
I think that's part of the learning curve is how to make sure that you're doing that and staying away from the processed foods, sticking mostly in the produce aisle. Like you were saying, COVID, everybody was buying. I would go down the aisles in the store and like the shelves were wiped out. Produce section and it's all there. Shayda, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to cook. You can find Shayda and her culinary creations on her YouTube channel, Healthy Cooking with Shayda, and through her website, healthycookingwithshayda.com. Please do look those things up. Thank you so much, everybody else, for joining us as well. I'm so glad you're here. And this recording will end up on my YouTube channel. So thank you for coming in tonight, and I appreciate you on so many levels.